Well, welcome back to Aska. This is the second episode, and yeah, we're having fun. So, quick recap from the previous episode. We've started the new game. We've got the very basics built, so we have a campfire, a couple of shelters. We've got two villagers in, Aki and Mbala. Mbala's on our woodcutter's pit, gathering wood for us, and we've got Aki is our builder, helping us build things, obviously. So, plan today is we are going to get the rest of the basics set up and a workshop. So we need food gathering, we need to gather stones and large stones, and just get our basics sorted out properly. So, to that end, off camera, I've done a little bit of collecting and got some more Jotun stones. So, we will want to open that correctly. Let's see what we can get. Storm Forged, Stone Clumsy. Yeah, he's not very good. Lacks physical strength, but has a Harvest Blessing. Right, we'll have Lars, I think, because we're going to need food gathering, so we'll get him on the way. And as usual, put the next set of stones in ready. So, to that end, if we're going to have food gathering, we'll actually do that up here somewhere. These will probably get moved round once I get things a little bit more stable. But if we go into our build menu and basic production, we want a gatherer's pit. So that can go there. And our builders should come across and start helping us build this shortly. Pin that recipe. So, some of the feedback I've had from the first video that I've did was I didn't explain enough about the game, really. So, Aska is a Viking survival building game where you build up a village, a town, and in some cases you have to defend it. We have got the enemies on in this game, so we're not just playing creative. To that end, we need to keep our villagers happy. We need to provide them with everything they need, as well as keep them happy and look after them from the bad guys. So every couple of nights we get a thing called a blood moon, which we get attacked. Once we get ourselves a little bit more set up, our villagers will help us do that. They'll help defend the village themselves. But at this level, there's only 3 of us, 4 on the way, so it'll be mostly me. In this game, each thing you build is a set structure, unlike things like Valheim or other games. Everything looks the same, so if you build a gatherer's hut, it's just a gatherer's hut. They do have different levels, however. So the basics ones we're building, well, I can supply that. Just have like 1 or 2 people collecting, and get the basic stores. As you get more advanced, you unlock the ability to get more and more levels. So you can build them up, and they get more efficient, more effective, and it would just work better and look nicer. The only one that's slightly different to that is the longhouse, but we're a long way off that yet. I will show you that when I get to it. So as well as building the gatherer's hut, because Lars is now here, we need some more shelters, because again, without shelters they're going to be unhappy. So what we'll do is we'll build that shelter up here next to his gatherer's pit. So go to build and put a basic shelter there. So they're not happy because there's no food at the moment. So there's Lars. Where's Lars? There he is. So he's homeless at the moment, so we're just building the shelter. So, tireless vitality. Not very good at logging, but can harvest crops. So that's a good thing. Doesn't like bad weather though. Vikings that don't like bad weather. Seems a bit odd. But hey ho, this is what we have. Might as well get rid of that tree. Just supply some of the stuff to this. Needs rope. We've got flax, so we can make some rope. And there's our basic gatherings hut. So we will put Lars on that. Gatherer's hut. Assign worker. There you go. So he will now go out and collect all little bits. So like the berries that we find. What was that? Just run over. Onions. All that sort of stuff he will gather, bring them back, and that supplies our basic food for our villagers. Let's set the next one going. Feeble logger again, thirsty giant, cold resistance, steadfast revolve. I think Dagony. Let's have Dagony. Oh, I'm 1 stone short. Right, I need to go and get another one. So, there he is, off doing his job, already collecting things. Everything that you collect is done off these banners. Now when you build a structure, a collection structure, the banner comes with it initially. If you go into your build menu and markers, you can build more. And they will gather within that area. So if we look at our map, we can turn on ranges. So that is the area that he will forage in to get food and things. So we've got our woodcutter up here collecting wood from this area. He's collecting food from there. When we get a stone builder, they will have another marker to collect stones and rocks for us. You can put down as many of those markers as you like. With food and foraging, it's usually a good idea to put quite a few down. Once you get more villagers, obviously, they'll clear the area quicker and run you out of food. So the other thing I wanted to do was get a village well up and running for water. There was one up here, wasn't there? Right, so if we go to build, campfire, where we built the rain collector before, we now have access to the well, which goes on these little water sources that you find everywhere, and they will supply a lot more water. So that just needs 20 sticks now. The wooden water trough is great initially, but as you can see, it's already run out of water. The well supplies 50 drops or litres, or I'm not sure what the exact amount is, but it's a lot more. And these things are scattered everywhere. There's another one there. There's another one there. You always want a few of those around your village, so that people can collect water where and when they want. Especially if you're putting a farm down, you want one near your farm, because your farm will use quite a lot of water as well. And it's gone dark again. Right, so let's get our stone gatherer's hut. So pressing the Z key again, we can see all the resources around. There's quite a lot of stones down here, so we'll put our stone cutter down here. If I find the right menu, there we go. So we'll build that. It's Q and E to rotate the item, and there we go. Pin that. Now, because it's night time, chances are our builders have gone to sleep. Need rope for the shelter. It would help if I was running the right way, obviously, wouldn't it? Again, if you look at the top of the screen, you do have map markers to try and find your way around things. So I was running completely the wrong way, which is just like me. Can't even climb rocks at the minute. There we go. That can be built. So there we go. That's got 50 water in it, and that's straight away. Whereas the wooden trough, you've basically got to wait for rain for it to collect. So those stone wells are definitely worthwhile. And that's Dagny just come in. So let's have a look at Dagny. What can Dagny do? There she is. Oh, Stonebreaker. Isn't that helpful? So she can go straight onto our, I think it's a she, can go straight onto our stone resource gathering, which we've just set up building. And then that's our 3 basic resources up and running. So there she is saying hello. Let's get another shelter built. So the reason I'm putting them up here is the gatherer's hut, if we go into structures, has an area desirability, so people want to live near it, basically because they want to live near where there's food. The well that we put here increases desirability as well a little bit, because again they've got a handy resource they don't have to go far to get. That goes a long way to keeping our villagers happy, which is always a good thing. As you can see, we're not too bad at the moment. For when they first come in, they have the optimistic outlook that you can see on the tooltip there, which means for the first couple of days you get a grace period that they're looking forward to living here. After that first few days, you've got to keep them happy. Fortunately, all ours are still within the optimistic outlook time. But you can see we have some homeless, which they don't like. The structures are defenceless, and we're not enclosed with walls yet. So there are things that we can do reasonably quickly. Let's put some of this stuff in here. Now these not only collect vegetables and fruits and things like the berries, they also collect seeds which we'll need later for farming. They will also gather the flax for us. I'll help that build. So, select shelter, and we've got 2 homeless, so we'll put Lars in because he was here first, and that will make him happy because he has a house. The next thing we're going to need is a workshop. These are quite a large structure, but you definitely need them fairly early on. Now, with the workshop, if I can find it, and it's there. So it's waiting for the stonecutter's pit to be built. Once you have a workshop, you can make better tools, more equipment. So that's quite a valuable thing to get early on. So we'll give that a little bit of a help. Again, our builders will be asleep. These are the boring bits, unfortunately, sorry. While I'm chopping wood, please, any comments, any thoughts that you have, please leave me a comment. I'm still new at this, so any constructive criticism or thoughts or ideas are always welcome. I don't like promoting myself very much, so I hate saying like please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But any comments, please, just if I can get better at this, then it's better for all of us, because we all learn, we can all have fun, and have fun together. So feel free to leave me a little note if you think I can do better, or you have ideas that will help me out. Right, so that just needs one more long stick. Need to keep an eye on my water and food levels as well, which are the dials in the bottom left. So the first one is, the knife and fork is obviously food, then water. The blue bar, or circle rather, is heat. So in the winter especially, we have to be very mindful of how warm or cold we are, because the cold will kill you in this game. So again, with the workshop, you can make clothing so that when it comes to winter, it's just that much easier to survive. So now we have that built, we can add in Dagny, who's our miner, well, stone collector. She's already level 6, which helps as well. So that's them assigned. So we still have Aki as our builder, who is actually quite a good farmer and gatherer. So we might reassign him once we get the farm up and running. So again, that will have a marker flag, which you can't really see in the dark. There it is. So again, if we go to our map, and it'll gather in that circle, and again we'll put more of those down as we expand to just make life easier. They will go further afield. Let's collect some of these sticks and resin and all those good things. So anything that you collect, like I've got 9 stones on me, I can put in here as well, so that they can come and get them for building, etc. Right, so now we have that up and running. Is there anything in this area? Not really. Bird's nest. Right, let's get our workshop up and running. And it's that one. Like I say, this is quite a large structure. You've got the central bit which it'll build straight away. Now the extra bits that are turning red and green at the moment, those are where you can put add-ons on. So, as I was saying before, you can build a weaver's hut, a leather maker, a carpenter, a blacksmith. All those can get attached to your workshop. So it's multi-purpose rather than just making tools. So you want to make sure that all those areas are green, so that everything can be built in an efficient way. You're not blocking yourself in. So we'll just level this off. Like I say, it's quite a large footprint on this building. Day 3. Now all these buildings were put in. You can operate yourself. So if, like at the moment, I need 1 more stone. You can do things yourself while you get the villagers in. The sooner you get the villagers in, it just makes it easier, because they will do things for you. Daylight came fairly quick. Let's go and supply the rope. Again, early on, there's only really you who can make rope until you get that workshop up and running, and they can make the rope for you. Which is why I say, if you see flax, collect it, because you're going to need it. And there should be some over here. Is that some? Yep. Right, so let's go looking for these bigger ones. The reason I'm ignoring those is, with the current tools I have, I cannot harvest it. I need better equipment. Once we have the workshop pit up and running, I can then make the better axes, and you get a lot more efficiency out of mining the big stones. The small Jotun stones, you normally get 1, maybe 2 if you're really lucky. These bigger stones you can get 3, sometimes 4. So it's a lot easier to harvest the big stones. They're also a lot easier to see and find. As you can tell, me running around looking for stones. This is quite a nice flat area as well. Can always expand this way from the mine, which is just there. Weirdly enough, night time is the best time to go searching for Jotun stones, because they glow in the dark. During the day, not as easy to see. And here we are again back at base. Those pesky rabbits you can hear and see running around in the background, something else you need to be careful of, because they will just steal stuff out of your gathering pits. including stones that they will carry off and allegedly eat, which is quite bizarre. But just be aware that if they're around, they are going to be trying to nick all your resources. There's just some small stones down by the beach. As if on cue, hungry smokers. Those are the little rabbit creatures. If they're hungry, they are coming for resources. You can put down torches and lights to keep them away. That works to a point. It's not particularly effective. So let's see if we can see where they're coming from. I mean, we haven't got very many resources to steal at the minute, but we still want to keep what we've got. So there's our stonecutter out working, gathering stones, and here they come. Just running at them will scare them away to a point as well, so something to be aware of. So they're hiding in there. Go away, smoker. They are a nuisance, but useful later on, because you can capture them, you can breed them for food, and somehow you get milk out of them, called smoker milk, which you need for some of your crafting recipes later on in the game. Right, we have a workshop. So if we look in here, we now have a large stone axe and a large pickaxe, which is 4 sticks, 5 blades and 4 rope. So if we get some of that resources, we can take some stones. Flax we have on us, so we need sticks. There we go. Hungry smokers leaving the village. Not sure we did much, but I don't think they got. Well, they might have got some from up here. Do we have any sticks? Yes, we do. Right, so we'll take. Take 12 sticks. And we should make some better tools. Again, running the wrong way to get back to my workshop. So, we need to make some rope. We need some blades. And we can now make large stone axe, and we're 1 blade short. Need some more stones. Fortunately, we have some more. Right. If we can, let's make another one of those. And on the back here, you have tool storage. So if I put this spare axe in here, our woodcutter will come and get it and start using the large axe rather than a small hand axe. And it just works better. A bigger axe chops down trees faster. It also means with the large pickaxe we can now harvest these larger stones. With the larger axe, the woodcutter can harvest logs from trees rather than just the long sticks, and logs are something we're going to need fairly shortly to build bigger and bigger structures. So our stone collector's coming to steal the stones from us. So that was 2 Jotun stones. Let's take some of these little stones while we're here and get another villager coming in. Oh well, there's handy. There's perfect. We'll have craftsman and resilient surge. So Frode, in you come. That's perfect for the workshop that we've just built. And then he can then start crafting the rope and the tools and keep our basics going. Harvest some more stones. Early game, once you've got the basics built for the resources, you will spend quite a lot of time harvesting Jotun blood, because you will constantly need a stream of villagers coming in. Did I get everything? I'm not harvest. There you go. Still more there. Difficult to see through the foliage. So these birch trees we can't harvest until we get metal tools. As I was saying about the logs, so far we've only been able to harvest these young firs that give long sticks. These bigger trees give logs. That's why you need the bigger axe to chop down those trees. Right. So, and because we're getting a constant stream of villagers coming in, we're going to need more shelters. So let's get a couple of those down. Again, Q and E to rotate. L, again, just build the last thing you've made. So we can put a couple of those down and get those built. Say once we get things a little bit more organised, we can get rid of these shelters and provide better houses. So if we go into the pit menu by looking at T, this tells us that the next upgrade is going to take 3 logs, 4 sticks and the rest of this to upgrade it to a better village, which will allow us to harvest wood, and we can assign 2 workers. Workers we can see here. So at the moment, let's say we've got Embla in there, who's level 8 woodcutting now. They advance reasonably quickly. They also have a task list, so you can tell them what to get and the priority for doing that. So at the moment, they can only gather long sticks, normal sticks, thatch, which you can get down at the beach from reeds, and bark. And we have a blood moon. This is going to be fun. This is our first night getting attacked. So if we look on our map, there's the invasion spawner. So they're coming in towards the back of this stone cutter. So let's get down there and defend our villagers. These happen every few days. And we're just waiting to see them incoming. See the marker on the top of the compass screen there? That's the direction they're going to be coming from. And there they are. The first one's usually reasonably easy, just a couple of rights. So it's left click to attack. A right click does a heavy attack. If you have two of them in front of you, watch out for your stamina. Again, don't run out of stamina. That's a bad idea. Right, so that was it. It was 3 rights that were in the first attack. Took quite a lot of damage there because I wasn't watching my stamina bar, which is the white bar at the bottom of the screen. Heavy attacks use a lot of stamina, but you do a lot more damage. And I'm using basic tools rather than an actual weapon, so it's not as effective. That will get better, but the attacks will get stronger the more villagers you get and the further time in. Now we can harvest these for resources, but we need a knife. Thought I'd made, but we can soon make one. So some blades, a couple of stones to make blades, some flax, and a stone knife. Right, so go over to the bodies. Again, if you press Z, they glow red, so they're quite easy to find. And it's worth just clearing these up. They will just lie around for ages, but they're worth harvesting, getting rid of. You can get some good resources out of these. Bone fragments, and occasionally you'll get a Jotun stone. As your skinning level gets higher, you're able to harvest them quicker. No, no Jotun stones this time. So again, if we press Z, got lots of bone fragments, so we pick those up. Those are useful for making bows and other bits and pieces, so they are worth collecting. Dagny's sat there waiting to talk to us because she hasn't got a house. So let's see if we can fix that now a bit more. So one of our villagers is suffering. Dagny. Traumatized by... That'll be from the Blood Moon attack. But that will disappear over time. But they're homeless, so let's have 2 shelters. Let's get our people assigned. So that's everyone in a shelter now. And our workshop pit can have... There he is, Frode. Crafting small items at level 5. Also a useful woodcutter. But we need that assigned. In tasks, it has nothing. So we can add tasks. We can get them to make rope. And create. Same with blades. That way we've always got some ropes, some blades queued up. We also need a large axe. Now you could make 3 or 4 of these. I just put it to 1. As it gets taken off the rack because it's being used, he will then just make another one to replace it. So you've always got 1 spare. So don't be fooled into thinking you need to make 6 or 7 if you've got that many villagers that need one. Just make the 1 and they'll pick them up and you'll just create the next one. So the same with axes and knives, hoes, hammers, all of which we're going to need. Another thing I would get on the go is a bow. And then some basic arrows. Initially, the wooden arrows, I'd just make 10. Once we get a better building, we can make bone-tipped arrows from the bone chips that we just got from those corpses. They do more damage and they're just a lot better. So that'll keep him busy for a while. And we can start to get things organised. We've got people incoming. And that's our basics up and running. So we've got everyone sheltered. We've got the forager getting us some basic foods. We've got our woodcutter and stonecutter bringing in resources for us. And we have a workshop pit making our basic tools. So yeah, we'll leave it there today for this episode. And we will carry on the next one. Plan for the next episode is upgrade our gatherers so we can upgrade our workshop as well. We can then start building cottages and more infrastructure to just make life better for everyone, especially us. And we will leave it there. So yeah, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What you think I'm doing right. What you think I'm doing wrong. So we'll leave it there. Thank you very much again. I'm Flash, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.